Many of us dream of a quieter life, trading city bustle for country breezes in retirement. It's an idyllic vision of peace and simplicity, a fresh start. But what if that dream holds truths no one talks about? We picture mornings filled with birdsong, not traffic, and evenings under starlit skies. The promise is clear: less stress, more nature, a return to what feels authentic, a chance to finally breathe, to cultivate a garden, or simply sit in quiet reflection, far from the demands of urban life. This move isn't just a change of address. It's about reclaiming a sense of calm, a personal sanctuary, the ultimate escape from city complexities. But before you pack your bags and set off for that tranquil horizon, have you truly considered everything? Are you prepared for the silent challenges that might greet you? I want to share 7 hard truths I wish someone had told them. Because moving to the countryside isn't just a scenic change, it's a profound shift that changes everything. And once you go, getting back isn't as simple as you think. Stay with me. The dream of moving to the countryside often carries with it a beautiful image of community. Friendly neighbors waving from their porches, shared potlucks at the local hall, and an instant sense of belonging. We imagine stepping into a life where everyone knows your name, where children play freely, and help is always just a fence line away. This was certainly the vision I, and so many others, held. We believe that leaving the anonymity of the city means finding a ready-made, warm embrace. But here's the first hard truth no one tells you. Moving to the countryside doesn't guarantee an instant community. Small towns, for all their charm, often have deep roots. The social circles are established, often for generations. People have their friends, their family ties, their lifelong connections. They are kind, certainly, and will offer a friendly wave or a polite nod at the general store. Yet, truly integrating, truly feeling like you belong, is a far more complex and challenging journey than you might ever imagine. The welcoming smiles are there, but the inner circle, the one you truly yearn for, can feel miles away. I remember thinking how easy it would be to join a local book club or a gardening group, to volunteer, to simply become part of the fabric of daily life. But the reality can be quite different. You might attend a few events, feeling like a polite guest rather than a participant. Conversations often drift to shared histories, local gossip, or family connections you simply don't have. You might hear names and places mentioned, feeling a quiet disconnect, like watching a play you haven't rehearsed for. The calendar, which you hoped would fill with new social engagements, remains starkly empty. You might pick up the phone, thinking of an old friend from your previous life, before setting it down, realizing the distance means those spontaneous coffee dates are gone. It's not that people are unkind. They're simply living lives that were built long before you arrived. Their routines, their traditions, their friendships are already woven tightly. And for a newcomer, especially one in retirement, breaking into that established tapestry requires immense patience, persistence, and often a thick skin against the echo of familiar faces that aren't your own. So, before you pack your bags, ask yourself this: are you truly ready to be an outsider? Are you prepared for the significant effort and time it will take to build new connections from scratch, to perhaps feel invisible in a room full of friendly faces? Are you willing to embrace a slower, more solitary social pace, or will the absence of deep, immediate belonging weigh heavily on your spirit? Because while the countryside promises peace, it often delivers a quiet that extends beyond the landscape, settling into your social life as well. And once that feeling of being an outsider takes hold, finding your place can become a silent, daily struggle. Moving to the countryside, I quickly learned that the quiet peace often comes with a significant trade-off: accessibility. This is hard truth number 2, the accessibility gap. The dream often includes visions of fresh produce from a local market and friendly chats with a small-town doctor. But the reality is, those services are often miles away, not just a short drive. You might find a small general store, but for specialized groceries, quality healthcare, or even a hardware store that stocks what you need, you're looking at a significant journey. The simple convenience of popping out for milk or a prescription becomes an hour-long, round trip, relying entirely on your own transportation, because public transport It's often non-existent. I've seen how quickly a simple trip can become an expedition. Imagine needing a specific medication or a specialist appointment and realizing the nearest facility is an hour or more away. What if your car breaks down? What if you run out of gas on a long, unlit road? These aren't just minor inconveniences. They become critical challenges when you're older and perhaps less mobile. I remember hearing about a couple, the Millers, who moved upstate for the serene views. Mrs. Miller needed regular physical therapy, but the journey to the nearest clinic was so long and arduous, requiring 2 buses and a taxi, that they eventually had to give up on consistent treatment. What happens when an urgent medical need arises and help isn't just minutes away? The absence of reliable public transportation or even a robust local delivery service means that every necessity hinges on your ability to drive or having someone else readily available to assist. This raises a vital question for anyone considering the move. Is convenience a luxury you can afford to lose? Are you prepared for the reality that a simple doctor's visit could consume half your day? Or that a grocery run requires meticulous planning? It's not just about what's available, but how accessible it truly is when you need it most. Before you pack your bags, ask yourself, have you mapped out the nearest hospital, the closest pharmacy, the specialist you might need, or even a decent grocery store? What's your backup plan for transportation or emergencies? Because once you're out there, trading immediate access for peace, you'll find that basic necessities require foresight and resources you might not have considered. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment truth below to let me know you're here. Your thoughts and experiences are incredibly important as we navigate these big life decisions together. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I highly recommend you do and turn on the bell. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward. Hard truth number 3. The hidden financial strain. Many of us assume that escaping to the countryside means escaping high costs. We picture simpler living, lower taxes, fewer bills, a chance for our retirement savings to stretch further. But this is one of the hardest truths to face. Rural retirement often comes with a hidden price tag, one that can quickly erode a carefully planned budget. You see, the absence of city services means you become responsible for everything. Your own well and septic system, which require regular, often costly, maintenance. Longer commutes for every single errand, medical appointment, or specialized service mean higher fuel costs and increased wear and tear on your vehicle. And sometimes, even homeowners insurance in remote areas can be surprisingly higher, reflecting the greater distances for emergency services. The peace you crave often comes with financial demands you never anticipated. I've heard countless stories and seen it myself. A sudden, unexpected expense that throws everything off. Imagine a harsh winter storm damages your well pump, or your septic system backs up without warning. These aren't small fixes you call a city department for. Without municipal services, you're solely responsible, and the nearest qualified specialist might be hours away, charging premium rates for travel and labor. Then there's the car. It's no longer just a convenience, it's your lifeline. Without public transport, every trip to the grocery store, every doctor's visit, every social outing depends on it. This means more frequent maintenance, higher fuel consumption, and the constant worry of an unforeseen breakdown that leaves you stranded. These aren't just minor inconveniences. They are significant budget lines that can quickly deplete retirement savings or strain a fixed income, turning the dream of peaceful solitude into a source of constant financial anxiety. So before you trade city lights for starry nights, before you commit to that idyllic cottage, ask yourself, is your nest egg truly prepared for rural surprises? Have you thoroughly accounted for the unexpected, for the self-reliance that extends to your finances? It's not just about the purchase price of the property. It's about the ongoing, unpredictable costs of maintaining a life off the beaten path. Are you ready to budget for emergencies you haven't even conceived of yet? Because once you've invested your savings and settled into your new life, finding the funds for these hidden expenses can become a heavy burden, impacting your security and your peace of mind far more than you ever thought possible. Hard truth number 4. The physical demands. Many of us dream of retirement in the countryside as a time for gentle strolls, peaceful gardening, and relaxation. We picture ourselves tending to a small patch of flowers, perhaps rocking on a porch swing. But what I've observed is that rural life often demands a level of physical effort far beyond what we anticipate. It's not just about cultivating a beautiful garden. It's about maintaining a property that might be larger, more isolated, and without the convenient services you're used to. Suddenly, raking leaves isn't just a chore, it's an entire afternoon's work across sprawling lawns. Snow removal can become a daunting, back-breaking task without a service just a phone call away. Small home repairs, which in the city might be a quick call to a handyman, become projects you're expected to manage yourself or pay a premium for someone to travel long distances to fix. The reality is, the countryside doesn't always offer easy living. It often demands a greater physical commitment. And this increased physical demand comes at a time when our bodies are often less equipped to handle it. What felt like a simple task in our younger years can now lead to strain, injury, or an accelerated decline in our physical capabilities. I've seen people move to the country, full of vigor, only to find themselves struggling with a stiff back after a day of gardening, or nursing a sprained ankle from navigating uneven terrain. When you're used to paved sidewalks and easy access to help, the lack of immediate assistance for things like carrying heavy groceries from a distant car or clearing fallen branches can become a real burden. The body has unspoken limits, and in a rural setting, where you're often doing more for yourself, those limits can be tested daily. The very tasks meant to bring joy, like tending a garden, can become sources of pain and frustration when you push yourself too far, because there's no one else to lend a hand. If you're considering a move to the countryside, ask yourself, how strong are you willing to be? Are you prepared for the physical resilience rural living demands, not just today, but 5 or 10 years from now? Because once you're there, the expectations for maintaining your home and property don't diminish. They become a constant part of your daily life. It means being proactive about your physical health, knowing your limits, and having a realistic plan for tasks that require strength and stamina. Are you ready to actively fight to keep your body capable, even when every chore feels like a significant undertaking? Because in the quiet beauty of the countryside, your physical capabilities become central to your independence and your ability to truly enjoy the life you envisioned. Many who dream of the countryside envision a quiet retreat, a peaceful solitude far from the clamor of city life. And indeed, rural living offers that in abundance. But there's a crucial distinction between chosen solitude and profound social isolation, and this is hard truth number 5. What often isn't fully grasped is how the absence of spontaneous interactions, the casual greetings, the unexpected conversations, can slowly impact your daily mood and mental well-being. You might sit on your porch, gazing out at a serene, empty landscape, phone in hand, and realize it hasn't rung all day. The quiet of the evening, once a cherished dream, can begin to speak volumes, reminding you of the distance between you and the world you once knew. It's not just about not having neighbors. It's about the sheer lack of unexpected human connection. I've observed how these silent days can stretch on, becoming almost indistinguishable from one another. At first, the idea of uninterrupted time for hobbies, reading, gardening, crafting, sounds wonderful. But without someone to share a thought with, without a new face to see, or a different perspective to hear, even the most beloved pastimes can begin to lose their luster. I've seen people put down a book with a sigh, not because the story was dull, but because there was no one to discuss it with. The television might hum in an otherwise empty room, a background noise against the silence. Even a community event flyer, perhaps left unread on a table, can become a stark reminder of the effort required to seek out connection, and the ease with which one can simply let the opportunity pass. The days start to feel too long, and the mind, without varied social stimulation, can slowly lose its sharp edge, leading to a subtle but persistent apathy. When you look at old photographs, perhaps of lively gatherings, family dinners, or friends laughing, what do you feel? Is it nostalgia or a quiet longing? The tranquility of rural life is undeniably appealing, but it comes with a cost if you aren't prepared for the profound quiet it can bring. This isn't just about missing your old social clubs. It's about your intrinsic need for human connection, for varied conversation, for the simple joy of bumping into someone familiar. If you're considering moving to the countryside, ask yourself, are you truly ready for this kind of quiet? Are you prepared to proactively and consistently fight for social engagement, or will the silence eventually speak too loudly? Because once you're there, finding that lost social vibrancy isn't as simple as driving to the next town. If you're still watching this video, I want to thank you. We've journeyed through some truly vital considerations about the dream of rural retirement. We've talked about community, accessibility, financial surprises, and the silent weight of isolation. But the journey isn't over. The upcoming insights are often the most overlooked, and perhaps the most critical for your long-term happiness and well-being. If you're finding these truths valuable, please comment more insights below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any of our important discussions. Your support helps us continue creating content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward. Hard Truth 6. Family connection changes. When I first considered the move, I pictured my children and grandchildren visiting often. It's not that far, they'd say. We'll make a weekend of it. The idea was comforting, a beautiful vision of shared quiet moments and laughter filling the new, peaceful home. But the reality is that the distance between loved ones, even if it seems manageable on a map, quickly becomes a barrier. Long drives mean more gas, more time off work, and more planning. What starts as a promise of frequent visits often fades into less frequent phone calls, as the logistics of reaching a more remote location become just one more thing on an already busy schedule. The easy, spontaneous pop-ins of city life are simply no longer possible. It's not that their love diminishes, but when you're no longer part of their daily orbit, life just keeps moving without you. The grandchildren's soccer games, the impromptu family dinners, the quick coffee dates, these are the fabric of connection, and they become harder to weave into the pattern of rural living. You find yourself looking at your phone, hoping for a call or scrolling through old photos, wistfully remembering louder, fuller days. Milestones, once celebrated together, might become video calls. Casual check-ins, once a daily comfort, stretch into weekly, then monthly, exchanges. It's a subtle shift, but it leaves you feeling less central, less connected to the vibrant pulse of your family's everyday life. The quiet of the countryside can sometimes be amplified by the quiet of an empty house, and the absence of familiar faces can weigh heavy on the heart. If you're thinking about moving to the countryside, ask yourself, what price are you putting on closeness? Are you prepared for the possibility that the peaceful solitude you seek might inadvertently create a deeper, more enduring distance from those you cherish most? Because once the miles stretch between you and your loved ones, reclaiming those spontaneous moments and regular connections can be a harder journey than you ever anticipated. The value of proximity, of being just a short drive away, is often underestimated until it's gone. The dream of rural living often begins with a quiet promise to ourselves. If it doesn't work out, we can always go back. But here's the seventh hard truth, one that many only discover once it's too late. Leaving the countryside is far harder than moving in. We often tell ourselves it's a temporary adventure, a trial period to see if the quiet life suits us. But the reality is, once you've sold your previous home, invested in a rural property, and uprooted your life, the road back to where you came from can feel like it's been closed. The financial investment alone, often significant, can tie you down. Then there are the logistical hurdles of another move, another packing of boxes, another search for a suitable place, all of which become more daunting as the years progress. This isn't just a simple change of address. It's a decision that, for many, becomes a permanent one, whether by choice or by circumstance. You see, the ground beneath you shifts subtly, tangling your roots in ways you didn't anticipate. Perhaps your savings, once robust, have been significantly depleted by property maintenance, unexpected repairs, or the higher cost of services and travel we discussed earlier. The physical decline, which rural living can sometimes accelerate due to its demands, makes the thought of another arduous move almost impossible. I've observed others who, after just a few years, found themselves weaker, less mobile, and simply unable to face the monumental task of relocating again. Their former homes were sold, their old communities had moved on, and the thought of rebuilding a support network in a new, unfamiliar place felt insurmountable. They were, in essence, stuck. Their desire for independence, ironically, had led them to a place where their options felt severely limited. The dream, for some, slowly transforms into a gentle trap. So before you embrace that romantic vision of wide-open spaces and tranquil sunsets, ask yourself this: are you truly prepared for a one-way ticket? Are you ready for the possibility that once you settle into that rural haven, reversing the decision might be beyond your grasp? Because once those roots take hold, financially, physically, and emotionally, the barriers to leaving can be harder to overcome than you can ever imagine. This is not a choice to be made lightly, but with every factor carefully weighed, for the life you choose to build in retirement is one you may live out for good. Looking back at the dream of moving to the countryside, it's clear now that it's far more complex than the tranquil images often painted. What begins as a yearning for peace and simplicity can quickly unfold into unexpected challenges. We've explored how the illusion of instant community can leave you feeling like an outsider, and how the accessibility gap can turn simple errands into daunting expeditions. We've seen the hidden financial strains that can stretch a retirement budget thin, and the physical demands that can quickly outpace an aging body. The silence, initially sought for tranquility, can deepen into profound social isolation, subtly eroding mental sharpness and purpose. And then, there's the inevitable shift in family connection, as distance proves a formidable barrier, making loved ones feel further away than ever. But perhaps the hardest truth of all is realizing that this dream, once embraced, can become a permanent reality that is incredibly difficult to reverse. I don't say this to discourage your dreams, but to empower them with foresight. Your choices today shape your tomorrow. Before you pack your bags, take the time to truly see beyond the idyllic vision. Ask yourself the hard questions. Fight fiercely for your independence, your health, and your connections. Whether you choose the quiet of the countryside or the familiar comforts of a more bustling life, your quality of life, every single day, is worth holding on to for as long as you can. Thank you for joining me on this journey through the hard truths of rural retirement. Your insights are invaluable. If you've experienced any of these challenges, or if this video has given you new perspectives, please leave a comment below and share your thoughts. What did you learn today? What are you considering now? Your questions and experiences can help others who are contemplating this life-changing decision. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and turn on the bell so you don't miss any future videos. We are here to provide you with the information you need to live your best life. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.